Hey beautiful souls, it's Rachel here from A Bridge to Tranquility, and it is time for our free monthly reading, July 2021. So I've broken down the month into the 4 weeks, beginning with the week commencing the 5th of July, which was yesterday, and then breaking down to the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. I've then also divided it by our elementary ruling signs. So we're beginning with water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, going into fire signs, which will be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, moving into earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and finishing off with air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. What I will do is I will go week by week, and down in the descriptions you'll be able to find what time frame the weeks start at, beginning with the 5th. I think this is a really good way for us to just have an overview. I don't want it to be a long, lengthy monthly reading. It's very much about giving you snippets of information and guidance as to where your energy will be at and where you should be taking direction over each week of the month. If you head over to our Instagram page as well, at A Bridge to Tranquility, you'll find that we do our weekly energy readings. Those are very intuitively picked and very much more direct for people. So I feel like if you merge them together with this reading each week, it really gives you kind of like the right guidance and the right patterns to move forward and push forward. But otherwise, we're going to get straight into it. So week commencing the 5th of July, beginning with water signs, fire, earth, and air. So I'm feeling for a lot of water signs at the moment. This is the time now where I want to say triumph should begin. That doesn't mean that you're definitely feeling absolutely amazing. What that means is the tools and the energy around you are getting ready to support this triumph. So for you, a lot of water signs may have felt a little bit out of their depths. Obviously, we are still in Cancer season. So, a lot of water signs may feel very deeply affected at this moment in time. And that doesn't mean that you haven't had a bad path, but what it means is it's time now to look at the toolbox that's around you and start getting everything together, ready for that accomplishment, ready for that triumph to push through the rest of July. It's really about showing up for yourself and being aware and accountable of what needs to be done next. Moving into fire signs, I feel like this is a restoration week for you guys. It's about restoring, it's about repairing, it's about being in a place of really listening to what you need. Obviously for a few fire signs, Leo season is coming, so it will be a prominent time of getting ready to kind of get that fire back in your belly, feeling at full charge once again. But to do that, you must, rejuvenate, you must reset, you must restore, and don't feel bad if you've already been doing this. There's no time frame on being able to restore your energy, and I feel like this week is almost that final inset of getting yourself back together, getting back restored. And I feel like this week as well is giving us a lot of insight into how July will be for Leos, and I feel like it is going to be a lot of time of really putting yourself in the right position. Definitely as well going into that Sagittarius Aries energy, still being prepared for that fire as well, those fire signs as a whole, being prepared for what's to come and being prepared to charge up your batteries. It's not a bad thing, fire signs, it's really not. Moving into earth signs, so I feel like for a lot of earth signs, there's been a lot of guidance and movement over the past couple of months. It's been very much about getting into self, really heightening self. And I feel like this week is a very big time to be listening to your intuition, to be guided by your higher self, to really, really show up for yourself, instill those boundaries, but make sure also you're putting boundaries to yourself as well. You're being disciplined with yourself, earth signs, and you're making sure that you're showing up for yourself as well. It's not all just outwards. A lot of it is internal, and I feel like now that higher part of yourself is calling up for you to show up, and not just show up half-heartedly, not just a little bit of meditation here and there. What do you need, and what do you need to flourish and grow? That's what's going to be important. Air signs, I feel like it's a time of abundance this week. And abundance can work in both ways. Yes, it can be money, it can be material, but sometimes as well, it's about being in a state of gratitude and abundance of love, the people around you, the support that you have, the family you've created, really being in a space of joy and happiness. I feel like there's been a lot of weight for air signs, but it is a really big time to be joyous and happy about the abundance that you have around you, and not just, as I said, the material, actually the love, the compassion, the acceptance, the understanding. The support that surrounds you is going to be really, really important for you to push forward through this week. So we move into the week beginning the 12th of July. And again, we will start with water signs going into fire, earth, and air. So water signs going into the second week of July, the second full week of July, it's going to be a lot about ambition. So if you think about that energy that you've carried through, so you've got all the tools from last week, giving you the guidance that you need, what you need to triumph. Now it's about having that ambition and that motivation to get things done. Water signs, it's going to be a really, really big time to show up, and it's going to be time to put your money where your mouth is, kind of thing, and walk that talk. It's not just about thinking about it. It's not just about knowing what's needed. Now it's about getting things done. Action needs to take place, and it is that time. Fire signs, being free with yourself. You've gone from this space of restoration, and now it's time to free yourself. Fly out of the cage, take flight, and whatever that looks like and feels like to you, that is okay. It's really about spreading your wings, liberating yourself, feeling free, feeling joyous in this week. Fire signs is what's going to really, really push you forward. Earth signs, don't be afraid to be in between this week. Don't be afraid to be at both polar ends. Duality is needed, and sometimes, we need to be just as much light as we need to be dark, and we can be that at the same time. This is about not resisting the urge to be in that in-between. Feel settled there and be okay with it. That's not about dragging your feet and not making choices there. If there's a choice that needs to be made, you have to take action. However, it's okay to have a neutral opinion, and it's okay to not take a side. And this is going to be important this week for pushing forward and moving forward. Air signs, it's going to be a very major time of truth. It's going to be really, really important for you to be stepping in truth. This is not the time to hide your true emotions. This is not the time to hide what you're thinking. This is a time to speak that truth in a loving, honest way. And sometimes the loving, honest way can be a little bit harsh or a little bit brutal for people. However, it's your truth, and it needs to be spoken this week. So we move into the week commencing the 19th of July, beginning with water signs, going into fire, earth, and then air. So water signs, this week is very much about being in a place of joy and pleasure, really enjoying yourself, enjoying the progress that you've made. I want to really say for the water signs that have put things into action, it's going to definitely be a time of reaping the rewards of everything that you've done, really starting to have joy and pleasure in that time and in everything that you've passed towards you. Time to enjoy yourself, time to really fill up on yourself, time to give you what you need. This is not about other people's joy or pleasures. This is about yours. What do you require to really bask in yourself and enjoy yourself this week? It's going to be the best time to do it. Fire signs, you're going to feel like a bulb has just been switched on. It is time to listen to yourself. Hear your intuition. Don't just listen to it and let it mold where you want it. Hear it. Hear what it is saying to you and allow it to guide you. The connection to spirit and the connection to your higher self is going to be extremely strong this week. Don't ignore it. Those things that you've been putting off, whether it's a bit of healing, whether it's a bit of guidance, whether it's making some decisions, this is the time to get it done, fire signs. This week is definitely working in your favour. Do not ignore it. Be in a place of connection, stay grounded and stay rooted, but really, really open up that third eye, open up that crown, really open up to the universe. Earth signs. So this week is very much about going into a state of your journey. I feel like for some of you, this will feel a little bit circular. It'll feel a little bit like a cycle, and there's going to be a prominent time this week to either break that cycle or jump straight back on it. And it's going to be really, really important for you to decide what way you're going to let this journey go. There's never, ever going to be a wrong option, but there's always going to be a better decision. And that's what this is going to be about, Earth signs. I feel like situations from the past may present themselves. And remember, the past situations don't always come wearing the same coat and shoes, if you want to call it that. They haven't always got the same hat on. Sometimes they've got different hats, different coats, and they come in a different style. However, the motion is still exactly the same. So it's going to be really important for earth signs to decide what direction this journey is going in. And I feel like for a lot of us, this could be quite karmic, quite past life here, and for some, very much trigger and trauma based. So very much a cycle that's been repeated a lot. Very, very big repetitive cycle. Air signs, silence is golden. It's time to go into self, air signs, this week. It's time to hear yourself. It's time to connect with yourself. It's time to really, really resonate. You've spoken that truth last week. Now it's time to really come in here and look after yourself, internalise. For some air signs, there may have been some backlash to that truth, but don't allow that to convince you that you were wrong. Don't allow that to convince you that you're in doubt. Allow it to be the guidance. You know, speaking your truth from a loving place, not an ego place, was the perfectly right thing to do. So now this week, you sit in that, you go into that silence, you go into that space and allow yourself to be guided by yourself. This is going to be a beautiful week for meditation, breath work practices, yoga, even sitting down and just having a quiet moment for yourself. This is going to be the week for it, air signs. And we move into the last week of July, beginning the 26th. And once again, we're beginning with water signs, going into fire, going into earth, and then into air. So, water signs, it's going to be a little bit of a circular month, I want to say, as we're going to be ending this month with a lot of learning. I feel like this is a lot of learning about self, about the way that we operate, about the way that we communicate with others, the way that we deal with it with others, and the way that we react with others. So this week is going to be a time where a lot of that learning really comes to the surface. And it is not about learning and taking shreds off each other or off ourselves. It's not about being in a space where we believe that we are hindered in any way. It is genuinely about showing up for yourself. Once again, there's a lot of showing up for yourself this month, water signs, and this will be a time to just let that learning come to the surface so that you can prepare to action it. And some of it you may already be aware of, and it may just be giving you clarity, but allow it to shine through and allow that learning to take place. We love learning. We love knowing about new things. That's our human nature. So just like anything else, allow your personality, the way that you communicate, the way that you operate with others, the way that you operate with yourself to be a new learning curve. It'll be beautiful and it'll be amazing. Fire signs. This is going to be a time to almost take a step back. So again, I'm feeling this sense of circles going round this month. This will be a different type of stepping back though. This isn't going to be restoring. This is going to be more like a breath of fresh air, understanding your dynamic. For some of you, it may be about looking at work schedules again. It may be looking at where your personal time goes, how much time you've been having fun, how much time it's been a little bit too serious, finding that balance, just like you would, pay attention to what you were intaking, what you're drinking, what you're eating. You need to start paying attention to what you're giving out and where you're receiving as well. And I don't mean people, I mean environment, I mean places, I mean the self-care that you're doing, really bringing it full circle and implementing it. This isn't about restoring, this is about actioning. Earth signs. Once you've gone on that journey from last week, you're going to get to this end of the month and really be in a state of transformation, really understanding what you need to do, especially for those earth signs that took a different option, that broke a cycle. You're going to feel an immense sense of transformation, an immense sense of newness, really, really being a butterfly and spreading your wings. But that doesn't mean for the people that didn't break cycles that you're not still going to feel this sense of transformation. Unfortunately, if we've kind of gone back round on the cycle, we'll very quickly realise that it feels uncomfortable again. So a lot of earth signs that perhaps went back round on that roundabout will all of a sudden feel a right kick up the bum, to be quite honest, of needing to make change and needing to shift and needing to move away from this cycle as much as possible. Just because you didn't break it at the time doesn't mean it cannot be broken. Air signs. This is going to be a really, really important time for loving on yourself. Self-love, showing up, and self-love comes in many forms. Yes, the lovey-dovey stuff, the hot baths, doing things that you love, but also most importantly, boundaries, caring for yourself, mothering yourself, nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself. That is what self-love is about. Honouring yourself, respecting yourself. This is going to be really, really prominent for air signs. And I feel like if you're not doing that this week, you're going to feel the rough of it. and you're going to feel quite agitated, you're going to feel quite annoyed. It's going to be very, very important for you to really, really love on yourself and show up. So guys, that is our quick overview elementary readings for July 2021. I hope you guys have enjoyed them. I hope they resonate, and I hope they really, really guide you through the month ahead. As I say, each week will be time stamped below, so really do make sure you use it, utilize these free resources that we give, and just take that little bit of guidance that you can. Feel free also as well to go over, so feel free to listen to your moon and your ascendant. These are prominently for your sun signs, but they don't mean they won't resonate with your rising and your moon sign too. And just make sure you're following us over on A Bridge to Tranquility, Instagram and Facebook. We have loads going on. Have a little nosy. We will soon be having our 2K giveaway as well, which is going to be really exciting, along with a raffle and a special tea talk as well. So I'd love to see you guys all there. But remember, you don't have to be weird to be spiritual, and I love and appreciate you all. Take care, guys.